Alright, so we are back in action. We got the latest Banshee Phantom V3, so the 2019 release, 2019, 2020, it's current model anyway, latest release. Full 29er, adaptable to go mullet, like most bikes. 66 degree head angle, 76.7 degree seat angle in the slack position, 77 point something in the neutral position, or so low and neutral or slack and neutral. I've obviously got it running in the slack, so the lowest of the settings. Now we've got a 27.5 on the back, so Rushy gave it to me like this, gave it to me mulleted out. I tested his Banshee Paradox V3 full 29er, and I ended up mulleting, putting that into a mullet, so chucking the 27.5 on the back, leaving the 29er up front, and it just made it a better bike. And he's decided to go mullet on this. He's tried them both as far as I know. But anyway, that aside, it comes in a full 29er. You can do what you want with it. This has got 130mm fork, but it does these angles that I'm talking about, the 66 degree head angle, 76.7 in the low setting seat angle in a full 29er is at 140mm travel at the front. So here's a 130mm travel, so it might be a 66.5, and then slack it out again because we've gone the mullet at the back, so it's probably still sitting around the 66 mark. It's got the short offset fork, so 44mm offset fork instead of the standard 51, I think it is, or 53 for a steep angled 29er. Now I've spoken about the short offsets before, and it works on a bike at 65 degrees and slacker, works really, really well. It's a good complement to all of the characteristics that going slacker create. But from 65 onwards, from a couple of bikes that I've tried with it, I do feel like as you go steeper in the head angle, you need that standard offset fork. So you need to stick with the 50 odd mil offset fork. So we'll see how this goes. I've had a good bounce around on the streets. I've actually changed the cockpit to suit me. So we've got the death grips here. They came with the bike, but it came with an 800mm bar with a 50mm stem. A little bit big and a little bit wide. More so the width than the length is what prompted me to change over. But anyway, I've swapped over to my 760 setup with his grips for now, which feel good. I like the thickness. They come in thick and thin, the death grip. Thick feels really good. I like that handle. But being the coloured grip, when they get sweaty, they get really slippery. It's like the black rubber is really well damped and really well just bites on you. But coloured grips, and I've found this in multiple different styles and brands, the coloured grip version of the same grip is always less grippy than the black grip. So I've said grip a lot of times if you're keeping count at home. But anyway, coloured grips are definitely less grippy in my experience. So I got my 40mm stem, 760 bars. It's got a 170 dropper post. He's got the joystick seat, which actually feels quite comfortable. So I've got the anvil on my transition. It's just the seat that it came with. Gotten used to it, but it's not the most comfortable seat. I'm still on the hunt for a comfy seat, as you all know. It's a never-ending story finding a seat you can sit down on. Not that I do too much sitting, but when you're cruising up hills, you want to be comfortable. You don't want to have to wear a nappy. Eagle EXO 12-speed. Now what I like about the Eagle EXO is I haven't really played much with the EXO, but the shifter, see if we can get a, it's probably wrong lighting, but yeah, this shifter just under here, it's got increments where you can turn this around the clock. You can turn this up lever around the clock to suit your exact position that you want. So you can obviously, with the SRAM mount here, you can work out where you want that in comparison to, or in relation to, where your grip is, where your lever is, and where the rest of the stuff is. I like that option to move all of that. I love that there's only one clamp to do it all, and it's all adjustable within that clamp. It's killer. Love the SRAM stuff for that. What else we got? So it's the old button push 170 lever, no biggie. What do I think of it so far? Like I said, I've only bounced around on it yet, but it seems killer. When it comes stock, it's spec'd with these Spank 350 wheels, which are 30.5 internal diameter, so pretty cool. Guide RSC, wicked. Everyone knows the guides are good. Code RSC. Excuse me for that. Killer brakes. Probably my favourite brakes. They've still got issues. They've, like the contact point could do more. They could be more clear on how to bleed it. It seems like they still got a backwards way of bleeding it. I've done a video on that if you want to look into that. To get what I'm saying, the backwards blade, to get the most out of your contact point adjustment as you go on. It seems like they do it backwards in their official YouTube guide. Fox 34 Performance Elite, Fit 4 damper. So we just got low speed compression on the top, 3 position adjust. So open, middle and firm. Rebound at the bottom, pretty basic. So they should feel alright. Not sure about token setup or anything like that. Factory float DPX2. So I've had that shock on my bike. I've had that shock on multiple bikes, and I'm not sold on it. So we'll see how it goes with this. Bouncing around the streets so far. The back end of this bike feels so supportive. Even as I've dropped that pressure down to find a good sag, find the right sag. They're recommended, which is between 11.3 and 13 millimeters, so 25 to 28%. And it still feels solid and supportive. So I'll open that up later, see what kind of token setup it's got in there. It's good. I've got also DMR Volt pedals. So Orlando, shout out to you for lending me these. Sorry it's taken me so long to test them, but they're on now and they feel good. They do feel good. So we'll get a review of them after, not necessarily straight after riding this bike, but maybe a little bit longer. Get a good idea. But if you just look at the frame of this thing, it's just built really tough. Like everything kind of looks like it's reinforced. Now I don't really know what I'm looking at when it comes to metal and strength of and bending points and weak points and stuff, but to me it looks solid. It looks like they've got material where it needs. On the Banshee website, they show how all these seat stays and chain stays are actually they're reinforced. So I'll put a picture up of what that looks like, and it's just really good. They're building a really good bike at the moment. So I love the look. I love that raw finish. I love the angles. Not too sure if I'm sold on the short offset on the fork, but overall, let's see how it rides. It should be a ripper.